What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. My name is Tech.
I'm Kojak.
And I'm Wink.
And of course, this is Critique the Critics, the show where we take a look at movies. Today, we're taking a look at Aladdin, and we're going to look at critics and read their reviews and critique them and make fun of them. It's going to be ridiculous, because how can you make fun of Aladdin? Because Robin Williams is amazing.
Like this.
Probably.
Like they're gonna.
Here's a quick example before we jump into the actual full review. Mark R. Leeper said, "A solid disappointment," which I always love that, because it's I like that kind of phrase because it starts out like it's going to to be positive and then it gets ruined.
It's a solid.
It's a solid. Oh, great disappointment. Oh man. It's like,
I was trying to do that, but
right?
my brain malfunctioned.
It just teases you in, and then
It's a solid disappointment.
it's like you're at a carnival. It's like, come on down, the games are free, and you come over and it's like $5 each. I thought you said free. Well, after the first one, and you're like, God,
Free after kicking the nuts.
It's like, no,
Free after kicking it.
Yep.
Yes.
Got to read the fine print.
Turns out
folks.
that's the game.
I hate that game.
Well, we are going to take a look at audience reviews from Rotten Tomatoes, and of course some fake facts that we wrote, a special segment. But first, we're going to take a look at an actual review from MariahReviews.com.
By the way, you should read the first recent post.
Butt Boy 2019 was apparently reviewed.
Yeah. Okay.
He kind of
There's a 2020 in there.
he kind of went almost entirely to weird movies. Like almost entirely. Like The Lodge is a recent movie, but
Right.
like Killer Nerd, I don't know.
The Worm Eaters.
The Worm Eaters.
The Invisible Guardian.
Dun, dun, dun. Just so you know, this review starts, as they all start, with a ridiculously long synopsis of the entire movie. And if you don't know what Aladdin's about, then you were never a child ever. And I don't believe that, because people don't come out of vaginas as fully grown adults.
Benjamin Button.
Fully grown adults. It was an old baby. It wasn't fully grown as an... It's different. All right. It was an old baby. I'm just saying.
Aren't we all?
No. All right, let's take a look at the review. Aladdin was one of the biggest hits of the 1990s renaissance of Disney animation. Indeed, Aladdin comes from the same directing and musical team that spearheaded the modern 1990s revival of Disney animation with The Little Mermaid. I feel like you didn't need to say renaissance and then renaissance again, basically.
Also revival of Disney animation with The Little Mermaid in the 90s, which came out in 89.
Yeah, I guess they're saying it sparked it.
But also, was there a period that Disney wasn't doing well before the 90s?
Yeah, there was a period where they didn't like kind of take off, or people weren't gung-ho about them, and other people were doing a little better in the animation department.
Gotcha.
I don't know that much.
Yeah, but I mean, like when you think about like Disney movies, right? You go back to Snow White, Cinderella, all that stuff, and then there's a period where you're like, yeah, that's good, but no one really cared that much.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then all of a sudden it's Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Lion King, like, and it's like, oh my God, these guys are crazy.
They figured it out again.
Remember they made one animated movie about a horse or something like that.
Oh, I don't
And no
remember
one saw it. It was probably good.
It was probably Black Beauty, right?
No, it wasn't Black Beauty, because that wasn't animated. But it was about a horse, so you're on the right track.
All dogs
It's a
go
classic.
to heaven.
I just don't like
That's
it was
about
not
a horse, right?
Yeah, right. It was not necessary to say 1990s renaissance of Disney animation and then modern 1990s revival of Disney animation in the same 2-sentence paragraph. Like,
That's like saying old baby.
I guess it's like saying old baby and not referring to Benjamin Button. Aladdin is firmly intended as a crowd pleaser, which is very, very opposite to most Disney movies.
Yeah, usually they're a little more like niche.
Yeah, for sure. The downside, unfortunately, is that is it. Okay. I don't see how that's a downside, but okay.
Uh-huh.
The downside is everyone will love it. All right. That's kind of weird. That's like saying the downside to ice cream. Everyone's going to love this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, the downside is the awful shit.
Yep, that's the downside.
Yeah. The terrible gas.
Yes, the terrible gas and the gaining of weight.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm eating it alone.
It's because you didn't buy me any.
We could have all
You had your chance.
I didn't.
Together.
You went out.
You
on
had
your own.
You had your chance.
Listen,
And
we
didn't
said when
text
we did
me.
this, we weren't going to get into this. I'm
sorry.
You guys,
I'm sorry.
bring it back together.
Sorry,
Okay.
we're getting off that rocky road.
All right. Oh my God. No, we're moving on. No dad jokes in here. Jesus. It is well made and enjoyable, but ultimately an exercise in calculation, much like every movie. You think they just like throw stuff at a screen and they're like, done.
Raging Bull.
Even that was calculated. I agree that it was improvised.
I mean, I'm thinking like, yeah,
Like they didn't like not plan out shots. I assume there were caterers. like it was planned.
Right.
we were so hungry during shooting that movie.
It was very difficult.
That's why we were so angry all the time.
The first day we showed up, we got nothing done, and we were like, "Oh, cameras! That's what we're missing." Which we had calculated.
something.
They're at the other building, filming nothing.
Filming nothing.
They're all on.
And they're all on. Yeah, exactly.
The editor is super confused.
He's
The
like,
director's cut is like 37 hours and dark.
are you sure this movie isn't called The Wall? Because that's all I'm editing right now. The plot feels like a constructor set compilation of just about every plot device from every Arabian Nights fantasy, from The Thief of Baghdad and the Sinbad films to Alibaba, which isn't weird.
No.
That's not strange.
Right.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
You know, that movie where Sinbad played a genie.
Yep. Marshalling such marshalling such stock themes as the evil vizier who manipulates the good-hearted but weak and overweight sultan, the thief who poses as a prince, the thief's winning the princess's heart despite his lack of station, she being desired by the vizier, the genie, the monkey companion, the quest for a magic object. Can I point out, he already summarized the movie.
Uh-huh.
And he's doing this again. He already did all this.
Yeah, but
we skipped it, and it still showed up.
But he had to illustrate that these are all the devices that are being reused. But isn't that like movies in general? Don't they all take all the devices that they're going to use and put them together around their plot?
Especially, it's kind of like if the first fucking song is Arabian Nights, it's not weird to use plot devices from every
That's
Arabian
the most
Nights
lounge
fantasy.
singer way I've ever heard that done.
I'm just saying.
Arabian Nights.
I'm channeling my inner Bill Murray right now. But yeah, I mean, it's literally called Arabian Nights. They're singing about Arabian Nights. It's not weird to take from Arabian Nights movies. That's not strange. That makes a ton of sense. They're singing it. If they were singing like Rock and Roll High School and then they did Arabian Nights through the entire thing, you'd be like, this is weird, but I'm still going to watch because Disney is a crowd pleaser.
I mean, that is High School Musical.
True enough. The quest for a magic object that the thief is tricked into by the vizier and must make in order to win the princess. Even the character's name seems generic. Princess Jasmine, Vizier Jafar.
How
Yeah.
generic.
I was just going to say, I could be wrong. I don't want to be wrong. But like to say it's stealing from every Arabian Nights fantasy, like isn't Aladdin from Arabian Nights? Isn't
Yes.
it like one of the stories? So
Yeah, it's literally, isn't it called like Aladdin's lamp? Isn't that literally the story?
so
I think so.
And we might be somewhat ignorant of exactly how this is, but it's my understanding that
So
it's that.
it's stealing other devices from the same literature that it comes from.
Right,
Yeah, you need to relax if that's your criticism.
You need to just stop.
It's like that version of Romeo and Juliet was just so Shakespearean. I
Right,
mean, come up with
exactly.
something original. Am I
Right.
right? It's like, okay.
All right, well.
And
The
it's
one
not,
with the guns was better.
yeah, I do like the one with the guns, though. Much of what is in Aladdin has been copied from Richard Williams' far superior but far more problem-ridden The Thief and the Cobbler.
Which stole its themes from
Aladdin, which
lamp.
stole its themes from. Okay, with some personnel having worked on both films. The only character that is not a cliche in all this is the princess, who in the new Disney mold is considerably more liberated and in charge of her own destiny than most of the wall decoration types that had served as women's roles in Disney films up until this point. I mean, I do agree that like that was a difference in this, but to call that the only difference, even just the animation style was a change.
Except, I mean, I get that you expanded upon, oh, she's outside the mold, but you also complained that she was one of the tropes that this
even just her name was a trope and part of the mold. But he's talking specifically about the Disney mold now.
Right.
It's good to leave the Disney mold when you're talking about liberation or whatever.
Right.
So that's good, I guess. And it's good to leave the mold of all of the things that have influenced you, unless you're the movie that I liked.
Right.
That came out in 1994 and most people have never even heard of.
Right.
That one can stay within the mold. That's fine.
Right.
But everything else, you know, power to the people and the women and good on you for for doing that.
Nice try.
And I really wish you completely ignored your references and source material. Just kind of did your own thing, you know?
Yeah.
Ugh. Disney conducted a casting coup in managing to obtain Robin Williams in the role of the genie. Indeed, Aladdin began the process that is now widespread in animated films of casting star names in voice roles. That is very true. And I think like on an actual, like not joking note, I think that is both good and bad.
Yeah.
Because, and one of the things I respect the most about The Rock is when he did Moana, he was super respectful to everyone who was an actual voice actor, constantly asked their advice, asked if his takes were okay. And he was literally like, I'm an actor and not a voice actor. And I don't know this craft and you do. And I want to learn.
Yeah.
And that's really, really cool. And Robin Williams is a rare breed though, because he's everything.
Yeah.
He can do anything, so it's not weird. But like when you bring just a normal, like Cameron Diaz type person in there, it's like be a voice actor.
It comes out flat.
It comes out flat, and it really needs like there's a big understanding that voice acting is a craft, and I think as long as the respect is there and they don't take all the jobs from everybody just to sell tickets, I'm fine with it. But it's a completely different beast.
Sure.
However, the presence of Robin Williams is also something that seriously bends Aladdin out of shape. Yeah, that's the job of the genie.
Yeah.
He's literally bending the entire course of their lives out of shape. He bursts in with a manic barrage of one-liners, something the animators vainly try to keep up with and give literal image to. There's an irritably hip modernness to it. Call me Al, Aladdin states gratingly at one point. Gratingly.
All these damn kids with their shortened names.
Yeah.
Let's keep this thing period, okay?
When I was your age, we called you your full name. Your full name, except for Richard.
We called
Richard Dick.
I like that he called out Call Me Al, but not like any of like the references that Robin Williams made.
Well, I'm hoping he's going to get to it. It looks like he is. It looks like he is. But Williams conducting, he does right here. Anachronistic impersonations of everything from Jack Nicholson to Arsenio Hall, transforming into microphones, air hostesses, and submarines, even in references to Pinocchio. It is amusing enough, and certainly Robin Williams gives the film and its cliches a big boost of energy, but one wishes we had an Arabian Nights tale that was more genuine in feeling and one less obviously and relentlessly attuned toward a modern audience. This immediately upsets me because there are moments in this movie, in my opinion, where Robin Williams has you close to crying.
Yeah, no, he can do manic and then just touching.
Yeah. So to say that
manic,
to say that genuine and feeling is missing from this movie is nonsense. There are moments where it breaks down and he's talking about friendship and how he feels and how lonely he is and everything, where you are welling up.
Yeah.
You know.
So what this guy wants is a dry, serious,
totally period
movie.
for children.
For children. Yeah.
Like we just did the worst trailer ever. Coming this summer, a completely and utterly drab, dry, and serious Aladdin story for kids. It's like, no, it's not going to work. And that's going to be awful. And also, you know who also doesn't want that? Us, adults.
Yeah.
We don't want that either. It's frustrating. Another problem with Aladdin is the more stretched form of representation in the animation, a la Sleeping Beauty. Something that seems far less appealing and less human in shape. The pace is dizzying, although this seems too calculated as well. Aladdin is at its best during its quieter moments, such as the romance between Aladdin and Jasmine. Although that has its curious lack of plausibility, the business about she not buying who he is going on far too long. I actually really like this style of Disney's animation. I know a lot of people call it kind of rubbery and weird, and that they don't seem like they're really walking like people. But I've always liked it. I find like a style and charm to it that I really enjoy. It's very, very pleasant for me, and I'm okay with the new style too, that they've changed to like Moana and Frozen and all that stuff. But when I watch these things like this and Lion King and stuff, and it's not quite perfectly human. Yeah, there's a lot of charm to it.
Man, I don't even see that. I for some reason in my mind, like Aladdin's animation is like perfect to me. I don't see any like I don't know. I missed something.
I mean, it put the animators through the ringer.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's just that like if you watch it again, I mean, some of the movements, like especially like when he's going through and stealing and or running away because he's being a thief or whatever, stuff like that. There's moments where it's like not quite humanly possible to move like that, so it ends up having this kind of like more fluid than it should be, kind of almost rubber feeling to it.
Gotcha.
But I love it.
Same, man.
I like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
This guy hates
it.
I wonder what he thinks about the live action Aladdin.
Yeah, I'd be very, very curious
because it clearly wasn't funny.
Yeah, but it's. I think it's interesting to go how close to real can we get with animation. I think that's interesting and unique. But one of the things I love about animation is that it's not real.
Yeah.
And so
right.
I don't want it to be real. I want it to have a little bit of fun to it, just from the feeling that you get.
Yeah.
I don't know. This guy doesn't seem fun, so I don't know.
I'm not a huge fan of cartoons.
Yeah, I'm not super big on enjoying things, which is why this thing that they specifically targeted for the case of entertainment, not so much for me.
I'm just trying to get through this review so I can get started on Butt Boy.
Exactly. I think there's a little bit more after that. Is there not?
That's it.
Really? I thought it just ends there?
Yeah.
I thought there was something after that picture.
No, it goes on to say that there's more, and then who's in and who directed the movie.
What the? That's
it. Yep, that's it. That's how I end it.
What an awful ending.
This about she not buying who he is going on far too long is the last part.
And then they made other stuff.
It's like he got a phone call in the middle of writing this.
It's like,
right?
Shit, just
I don't know.
Go to Craigslist and put all the identifying information.
Craigslist.
Craigslist. I was thinking of Wikipedia.
What website was available in '92?
Neither.
Craigslist. Go to Craigslist. Buy a copy. Buy a used copy of Aladdin, and then put down all the information on the back of it. That's hilarious.
My brain doesn't work.
And now's the part of the show where we read fake facts about Aladdin. None of these are true. Enjoy.
Iago was voiced by Robin Williams doing an impression of Gilbert Gottfried.
Originally, the Cave of Wonders was called the Magic Hole, but the producers decided that rubbing something in a magic hole to make a man come was inappropriate for a kids' movie.
The meaning of the name Jafar is small stream, which we're pretty sure is a tiny penis joke.
This has been Fake Facts about Aladdin. It actually is small stream. That is actually what it means.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, I wonder what his name means. And it's small stream.
Now we know.
Yeah.
Now we know.
I mean, it's just a typical, like, run-of-the-mill name anyway that was used, right?
Yeah.
Like Princess Jasmine. I mean,
Oh,
come on.
Come on.
Everybody in
Stereotypical.
everybody in Arabian land was named Jasmine at the time.
Pretty much.
Arabian
land. Well, let's take a look at some.
Arabian land.
Yeah. That's the mockbuster that came out. That's what they sing instead.
I thought that's the one. That's what they sang in the 1994 best Aladdin movie ever.
You haven't had a pal like moi.
You ain't never had a pal. Never had a pal.
You ain't never had a pal.
Never had a pal.
You ain't never had a pal. Like
Moi. I really messed that up for you. I'm sorry, buddy.
we committed.
Yeah.
A brand new earth.
A new great way of looking at things.
Looking at stuff. I have a tiger as a pet. Who knew that'd still be relevant in 2020?
Wow. So good.
Oh, man.
So good.
So
All right.
unplanned.
Let's take a look at the audience reviews from
All right.
Rotten Tomatoes, and anyone can start.
I'll read Delgo's.
All right.
Delgo.
All right. Terrible. Robin Williams not as good as Will Smith. Go watch new live action instead.
My heart, man.
That hurt my butthole.
It's one of the few people who are alone right now, not because of quarantine.
Will Smith won't even go watch that over this.
Of course he wouldn't. He's still like, I'm just honored to be a part of this. And I can't believe you fucking picked me.
Yeah,
Also, can you fix my weird torso?
they did.
I know.
Because, man, they gave him quite the beer gut
It was
in the
strange,
trailer the
man.
first
It was a
time.
very odd looking thing. I just want to have a conversation with this person and be like, what was better about Will Smith? And I have a feeling their answer will be, I like Will Smith.
Yeah. Probably.
Uh-huh.
I have not seen the live action.
I have not either.
It's probably pretty good, but I
I've
could
heard-
never imagine ever telling someone, don't see that animated one.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta see the
Yeah,
live
don't
action.
see the one that everybody watched to make this live action one possible because
Right.
it was so good.
Yeah.
Right. I can't wait till they make the live action Thief and the Cobbler.
Yeah. It'll have a really big audience.
I don't know
I'm sure.
who's going to be in that one. It's going to be like fucking Jason Statham, or
Yeah.
I don't know who they're going to bring. They'll bring someone in.
It's quite
It's good. Jason Statham.
All right.
Who wants to read T-Dog?
You read T-Dog.
All right, T-Dog D. You know I'm not a big Aladdin fan. Just wasn't too interesting. I wish
We know
you
now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wish you used punctuation.
for sure.
You know I'm not a big Aladdin fan. Just wasn't too interesting. You're kind of rapping. Is that in iambic pentameter? Is this somebody?
I just wish, you know how sometimes like someone will put a review on Amazon and it'll be like, this many people found this useful.
Uh-huh.
This isn't useful.
No.
Yeah, no,
There's nothing useful about this
No.
review.
I can't even triplet wrap it.
no.
Someone would be like,
No, I'm not a big hit. And I just realized it's not even an Aladdin review. It's an Aladdin review.
that's why.
Aladian.
That's the
Aladian.
one with
Stadium Aladdin.
Arabian land. Have you seen the new Aladdin movie with Princess Yasmin?
Yeah.
It's a lady in the tramp.
A lady in the
a
tramp.
lady in
I like
the
it.
tramp. That's good. Thanks, T-Dog.
Oh, now you got a simple Matthew.
That's his full name. Aladdin has some of the greatest music and animation I've seen in a Disney film. However, though, unlike Abel leads and the over sexual content did turn me off in the long run.
Good.
Oh, unlikable. Okay. Unnecessary space.
Unlike Abel.
Unlikable leads and the overall sexual content did turn me off in the long run.
I mean, it was pretty erotic.
There was a good kitties take off their clothes.
Yeah.
I mean, there were.
I don't know if you heard that.
Yes.
I turned that very much up
Same.
when I was a kid to be like, yes.
Oh,
that
yeah.
what they say? Oh, yeah. They totally say that.
There was a few. I mean, there are definitely some adult jokes done by Robin Williams for sure.
Really well done, though. You would have to explain it to anybody under a certain age.
Yeah, but I mean, I would have to say that right now I can think of plenty of jokes, plenty of scenes, and plenty of songs. I'm hard pressed to think of something sexual.
Jasmine's see-through sleeves.
It might be that.
And Gilbert Gottfried's voice.
It might be that. It's because you can see her weenus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where people get confused.
Weenus.
Yeah. But I can't. The fact that I can't think of anything really sexual, but I can think of a lot of things about this movie would lead me to believe that you're a pervert, I guess, because I can't think of any other, and I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm a pervert. Like there's a lot of perverts out there. Like there's, so be as sexual as you want to be, but I think you were looking for it.
Yeah,
I think you were trying to find something sexual.
So Matthew,
listen.
All right.
All right.
From Unknown. I don't know why I'm
Unknown
in this
C.
voice. But it did make a little bit of childhood, even if it was. Wait, did I read that right? But it did make a little bit of childhood, even if it was dull and annoying. Robin Williams is the only reason this was a good movie.
Well, at least you got some good taste.
And Robin Williams gives it a whole half a star. So nice.
Good.
It is weird that it made a little bit of childhood.
It made a little bit of childhood.
A wee bit of childhood.
I keep it on a shelf.
Yeah, you should go
on
talk
Michelle.
to Matthew.
Yeah. Where do you keep your childhood? I keep it in the pantry, where it belongs.
I keep it away from Michael Bay,
I keep it in a VHS case with Aladdin,
next to Samara.
And an unused joint.
just in case.
It's a little too dry now.
Aiden S.
Yeah.
said, this movie stinks a big dumb film 11% by Aiden.
That clearly.
This is
the one time I think we're making fun of a child.
I think we might be making fun of a kid this time.
Aiden,
Yeah.
you're awesome.
So whoever left that comment on a previous YouTube video, here you go.
We're making fun of a
Aiden, you're
child.
stupid. Big dumb
Grow
face.
up, Aiden.
Yeah.
And give me your crayons. Even jungle green, even though that's your favorite. It's mine now.
And the white one, because white is a color too.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting is that according to this sentence, this movie makes another movie smell by 11% more.
Stinks a big dumb film by 11%.
Like that's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know how it did that, and I'm wondering which film.
I don't know.
Probably the Thief and the Cobbler.
You know what? I'm really impressed by Aiden since he's so young and making a review like that, and it would
That he
fit
found the
in.
percent sign.
It would fit in among most critics'
I
reviews
know.
these days. I
It's
think we know
just
what
as-
Aiden's going to be.
It's just as
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to be the next Leafy is here.
All right, here's the next one. Yeah, I hated this film. All of its aspects are just silly, lame. But the major weakness of this film is that it was so boring. Those musical numbers were pretty awesome.
And then she came in, all legs and that pretty face. She said I needed something from me. It's so noir. Like you need a saxophone and a smoke. And you have your review.
Maybe I'm remembering this movie wrong, but there's a lot of freaking musical numbers in this movie, aren't there? Isn't that like most of the movie? It's at least half of it.
I don't know.
It's at least half of it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of music in this movie.
I don't appreciate the intro with the as if we were in conversation already.
Right.
Like, no.
And you got
Yeah,
I hated this film.
yeah, I hated this film.
Also, how can
The music was pretty sweet.
how can the lava filled carpet ride be boring? I don't understand how that.
Just,
Because they did it better on Sega.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, at the very least, it's so fast paced and colorful and just a jar to the senses that it wouldn't be boring.
I don't know, man. Just see the live action one.
Yeah,
Yeah, from '94.
The live action one from '94.
Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Never watch Aladdin. Go watch The Thief and the Cobbler. And Will Smith is obviously greater than Robin Williams. And that's all you needed to learn today.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for listening to Critique the Critics. If you are listening right now, wherever you are listening, make sure you subscribe. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, like, do all the stuff that you should be doing. And until we see you next time, geek out and game on.